Stephanie, first of all, thank you for coming here, making time to talk with me. I promise I will make it short. You've been a WISE member for a while, so we appreciate you a lot. And I wanted to know like about your firm and about WISE, pre-WISE, post-WISE. I wanted to know how long have you been in business? Like when did you start your firm?
September 2014.
Quite a long time, actually. It feels like yesterday, 2014, by the way. But why did you start? Was it a family thing, or did you always know that you would run a firm?
It was something called necessity entrepreneurship.
Okay, many people have that, and not everyone gets to the part of starting a business, so that's great. When you started running your business, and mainly way back before you found WISE, was there anything keeping you up at night regarding your business? Like, what were the challenges that you were facing that were kind of affecting how you were living your life, basically, or how you were running your business?
Well, I mean, the first year, everything was wonderful. And then as the client inquiries and the client base grew,
Okay.
hundreds of clients, I was really overwhelmed, stressed out, never really got away from the computer.
Right.
And I tried to hire like local tax professionals to help me. And I had a lot of problems with that as well.
Okay.
And it just seemed like the more we grew, the more complex it was in firm management.
Yeah, that's something that comes with growth. When you started out, that was only you, or you had someone
No,
like,
it was only me for a while. And
then
now I used to have like time to go exercise and eat healthy and hang out with my friends. And then all of that left.
left the building. Oh, so not fun to have to leave that. When you discovered WISE, I think it was through Brent. What were you hoping this would solve for you? Like, what were you expecting this would solve for you the most? Like, what was the key that WISE had to help you?
Yeah, well, that was a while ago. I think I saw on Facebook some posts that alluded to firm management in some way. It spoke to like a current pain I was having. So immediately caught my attention. And the more I dug into it, the more I learned about the program. I was like, firm management is my favorite topic.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I want my staff, my vendors, and my clients and myself, everybody involved with the firm, to have a positive experience. I didn't come in to make everybody's life harder.
Yeah, exactly. And that it's such a nice culture you have, because that will make people really connect with what you do.
Yeah, thank you. But I think that the client expectation is unreasonable, first of all. So that was something that took me a while to unpack that. And then, how do I have a positive experience and a normal like work-life balance for myself and the team? And the more accountant friends that I made and the more professional groups and the more I hung out with other people in my position, found out we all have the same problems.
Mm-hmm. Actually, across the world, many firm owners have the same issues. That's why we can connect with people from across the world, basically, because they're having the same issues in different languages. When this firm management thing spoke to you, and then you started learning, you got into WISE, like fast forward to a couple of months later, do you feel like once you started seeing all these resources and this training and the learnings, do you feel like there was also like, of course, a firm shift, like an impact, I'm guessing, but then a mindset shift since you started engaging with WISE?
Yes, that didn't come instantly. I do
Yeah.
have to share that. So my first tax season was 1988. Okay. So I have a lot of old ideas to overcome and
Mm.
old methods that are super ingrained in me. And so it was really difficult to create new habits and to learn new methods. And I think that's just like the nature of the human mind. But I just knew, like in every cell of my body, that the WISE program has cracked the code on how to have effective firm management so that it's a success for all parties involved. And I just had to keep plugging away, even if I took one step forward and two steps back. And also what I learned was that, so I implement something new, and then I need to have a holding pattern with that and consolidate and let it marinate and get sunk in before I start to implement yet another new thing. So those were kind of the problems that I found personally trying to implement the knowledge that's available to us.
Yeah, very important impact, because it, like you said, the mindset shift does not come with the first lesson. Absolutely. And then once you have a team, they also need to adapt and be on board with this mindset and this structure that you are implementing. So it definitely, it's like a learning curve that takes lots of patience. I think it's mainly patience and to trust the process. Now it's been used nowadays, that phrase, but I think it's so important to trust the process. And like people who've done it, basically they know. We cannot say that Ed hasn't tried or that Jamie hasn't tried. They have. And they had to be in the trenches to know. So thank you for sharing that. That's super powerful. And regarding the mindset shift, I wanted to trace back to a question I had. We talk about this business that runs without you, and that's one of the mindset that it shared, like beginning with the end in mind that we talk about. Is there something about beginning with the end in mind or having a business that runs without you that motivates you, excites you, scares you? Like, what kind of feeling do you have once you're taking the steps towards that? What do you feel about that?
Well, the first thing my mind says is unattainable, because I don't know anybody that has attained it locally or, that I know well. So the first thing you do is when you start a business, you basically create a job for yourself. So you're basically an employee, and then you can move up to being a manager. And then from there, you can move up to being investor owned. But making that jump from manager to investor owned position, I think is more advanced. And I don't have a lot of faith that most people are going to get there, really. But the awesome thing here is that I've identified what are the obstacles to that. Like logistically in real life, what needs to happen with systems and processes, building teams, but like also what needs to happen mentally for the firm owner to allow that to happen.
Yeah, that's like a big part of the whole stepping back from the business, delegating, empowering your team. There's a lot of that. And I do agree with you. Like some do get to do it. Hopefully most. That's what we want. I know that there's a lot of people who don't want to step back from their business, like to work less, of course, like you said at the beginning, be able to go out with your friends, to do more hobbies that you enjoy, and basically get back your time and be a normal business owner and have a normal human life. By the way, speaking of hobbies, I wanted to ask you, do you have anything apart from the business that you enjoy, like any activity or pastime or anything that you enjoy doing?
Not anymore. I used to. I mean, I used to be very into dogs, doing various things with dogs. And I was, before I started my business, extremely social. Like I was out every night with, and I have
That's so
tons
hard
of
to keep up.
friends.
That's like a second job.
I know. I really, even to this day, miss all those just being able to, like, if my friend calls me and wants to go to LA, we used to like go up to LA all the time and just walk around and stuff like. I used to be able to do that. Now it's like, no, can't. I want to get back to that.
Oh, you want to get back to that. Okay. So I thought it was like a social stage of your life, but that's nice. I mean, do you feel like you've gained time back?
I feel right now I've definitely gained time back. So I'm currently taking 6 units in college to finish my master's in taxation.
That's
So
great.
just even having the capacity to continue a master's degree, I think is a win,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Hopefully, once you advance, you will gain time back as you go and probably not withdraw from the business totally. But yeah, of course, get back to going to LA, having fun, back to back parties. But yeah, it's a process.
I wish. Yeah, that would be
Oh,
awesome.
you're a party girl.
Well, I mean, I don't drink, but I don't need to. I'm
No, you
super
don't.
high energy and super outgoing, so it doesn't matter.
That's
But
so
yeah,
fun. You seem like someone who's very outgoing.
that's why I do well with the clients, I think, because I'm a high communicator, very social, and that's not the norm, I think, in our industry. Most
Yeah.
accountants are very introverted and stuff like that. So the thing is, I can bring out a lot of clients and I can be out there and meeting all kinds of people, doing speaking events. But when I win that engagement, can I effectively deliver quality work in a timely manner?
Okay, yeah, it's like you have to balance it out.
Yes, I'm very happy with what we have going on this year. And that's because in August of last year, I started with the nitty gritty stuff in Wise Pulse. My mind like kind of overcomplicates things too. So I just took the time, is like, okay, how can I have my P&L statement ready every week for the tactical meeting? So I went through a whole thing on that. That's done now.
That's great.
In the withdrawal process, the first thing it says withdrawal from accounts. First of all, I didn't know what withdrawal from accounts mean. I think that's more of an Australian term, or maybe,
Yeah.
but it meant getting somebody else to do the books of the firm. So I started with that.
I know that you are now in the Wise Talent process. So you're hiring people now.
Oh my God. Can I please talk about this, Claudia?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So that was so much fun. I love Danielle and Chrisia. They handled all of my like tsunami of questions and concerns. And there was a lot of details that I had to understand and unpack in this process. And I feel like working with Wise Talent, I finally got that satisfied, that urge satisfied. And then we used the account test, that program. Okay, that guy is from New Zealand. He is in America right now. And I had lunch with him on Monday.
I think I know who he is. Maybe Gills.
Yes.
That's so nice.
I had so much fun having lunch with him.
Talk about outgoing.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I had no idea, first of all, that he was coming from another country.
Okay.
I also had no idea that he was a tax manager in the past. So I just thought this was going to be somebody without like personal tax experience. So it was awesome. And then I had a recent bad hire. We unpacked that. We talk about the tests, and he's joining my mastermind group on Friday because I'm in a mastermind group with 13 CPAs. And so I asked them if he could come talk to us on Friday. So that's happening.
Wow. You've created like your own little group of super important people on what you do.
I have a lot to say, Claudia, and I need a lot of people because there's not one person that can listen to all of this.
But it's so nice. Like I'm getting more than what I expected.
Awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
Claudia, one more thing I learned from that lunch is I'm getting the impression that doing taxes in New Zealand and Australia is less complex than it is here.
Maybe tax seasons aren't as killing as the US.
Yeah, so it's a little more difficult to build a team that has that US tax knowledge and experience that is required for my client base. That has been a challenge, I think, and might continue to be a challenge for accountants in California specifically, because the California tax code is also brutal.
Danny and Chris are helping you with this.
They helped me I hired my first senior accountant offshore, direct hire. It was a lot to mentally overcome on that.
Yeah, I bet. How did you feel about that?
What I wanted and was the right thing, but it was a slow, tedious process, and mainly, because of the learning curve. Also, we tried first for senior production manager. Couldn't find a senior production manager. Can't find a senior client manager, senior production manager. So I'm still those roles. So we moved it down to senior accountant, and then she scored 92% on the account test, which is really high.
Yeah, I bet.
She's sharp. So she's learning like our specific things. And I'm very inclined to just do it. And then I listened to a Wise video on last Friday. I learned how to hook up my phone to my car so that the YouTube videos play when I'm driving.
Okay, got it. Bluetooth.
Because normally, I don't think of that. But so I started listening to the Wise videos on YouTube. And there was an 18-minute video there about enhancing the relationship with your offshore team members.
Yeah.
And thank God I listened to it, because I was doing some of those things that they were warning against.
One big takeaway from that video you had that was like really breakthrough?
Well, it's two quick ones. Okay. One, never do the work for them. So I kind of have to walk them through it, which I'm so impatient. I have to tell you, because I have to do like 4 jobs a day, And then the other one's never dismiss the huddle meeting.
Oh, okay. Important. I haven't listened to that full video because I've seen most. I think I'm a stalker.
Really?
I sometimes quote Ed, which is kind of scary actually. I told Brent,
Oh my
like, yeah, I know. Like I sometimes quote Ed and I'm like, I'm losing my mind. But yeah, there's great life advice. I'm not at all an accountant, but I know there's great life advice. And
God. Look, Claudia, you can run your own firm now with all this information.
but numbers are not my thing. Not at all. But I do think that it's a trial and error thing with your offshore team. Maybe you're going to learn how to walk as it goes. Like you can walk before you run. So it's mainly like creating a relationship. As you can see, I'm offshore. I'm all the way across the world. And I connected with these guys in such a way that I am so grateful. I met Brent and Jamie and Sammy, who you've probably talked to. So yeah, it's nice. It's important that they also know that they're part of the team and that they're not just behind a screen, that they feel connected. We do huddles, we do Christmas parties, we chat every day. So I meet with Brent and then with Jamie, and yeah, it's basically a process, like everything.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Just me sharing.
Awesome.
That's your effect on people. But that's so nice. I thank you so much for everything you share. If there's anything else that you want to share, please go. If not, I think you've said everything that I wanted to hear.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, anytime.